I have played a ton of new cozy games in the past month, so today we are going to rank 12 of them to help you decide which you might like to take a look at. I've even created my own bunny-themed tier list that hopefully will help remove any ambiguity in the ratings. Now, the way I am ranking these is heavily based upon the game's ability to maintain my motivation to play it, as well as the aesthetics and the value for your money. Keep in mind though, these are just my opinions, and please let me know in the comments below whether you agree or not. Let's go. Starting with Chilltown, which I played the alpha release, so I may revise my thoughts as the game progresses into beta later this year. Chilltown is a combination life sim and idle game that's a bit like a simplified Animal Crossing, designed to be over the top relaxing. You have a house to decorate and accessorize, there's a bit of farming, foraging, and bug catching, as well as fishing. You can even have a pet, and there are little pal creatures to find as well. As you progress, there are more items that can be unlocked, as well as other areas of the island that you'll have access to. Where I think Chilltown really shines is in its ability to perform tasks such as fishing automatically, and you have the game run idle in the background. It's almost like an animated wallpaper for your computer screen, and there are no consequences to your gameplay. It also has a decent collection of songs and playlists that help to set the mood depending on whether you want to feel energized or calm and relaxed. Given its alpha state, I did run across some expected bugs, including losing my house and not being able to equip tools, but it overall functioned pretty decently and definitely succeeded in providing the serene, whimsical gameplay that I expected. As much as I enjoyed it and will play it again, and especially try it as an idle game as I go about other tasks, I didn't find myself having an overpowering urge to play it again. So for that reason, I'm going to place Chilltown in the like category, at least in its current state. Next is Tiny Witch, an indie management game where you play as a witch who crafts and sells made-to-order potions for her spooky and demanding customers. I did appreciate the cute little characters and seasonally spooky aesthetic, but sadly, that's about the end of what I enjoyed. This game is the antithesis of cozy. Your days start off slowly, but your shop quickly overflows with customers demanding complex, time-consuming potions which you cannot make ahead of time. If that isn't bad enough, they also begin throwing things at you, adding more and more tasks to your list, and all the while the clock is running out at an alarming pace, and then the shift is over and you've fallen far from your goal. There also is no difficulty setting. It was incredibly stressful for me and just didn't jive with what the graphics made me think the game would be like. If you watch my video on Tiny Witch, you can see how stressed I became. It was almost comical, and sadly, I just have zero desire to play Tiny Witch again. So for these reasons, I am going to respectfully rank Tiny Witch in the hard pass category. I feel badly ranking any game so low, but this is my personal, honest assessment and opinion. Moving along, we have a free mobile cozy game called Usagi Shima, which literally means Rabbit Island in Japanese. And that's what you have, a little island with bunnies that randomly visit, and you get to interact with them in order to receive carrot currency. You can use these carrots to purchase toys, plant decor, and new buildings, all of which the bunnies will interact with. I loved Usagi Shima for about a week and worked my way through many of the achievements. The game ran smoothly, the ads were very minimal, and the day and night zen-like aesthetic was just a joy to experience. It also made a great toilet game. Yeah, I said it. However, once I had my island covered with buildings and items and I had seen most of the bunnies, I really didn't know what else to do, and repeatedly petting, feeding, and playing hide and seek became a tad arduous. Despite this lack of depth in the gameplay, the bunnies are still adorable and the aesthetic is so cozy, I do really enjoy this game, just not for long periods. So I am going to rank Usagi Shima in the like category. Alchemy Garden released on the Nintendo Switch back in September, and with the developer generously offering to let me play it, I agreed. You play as an alchemist who must explore and forage for plants and craft potions to sell in your shop and to local villagers. You can also grow your own herbs and have items to purchase and decorate your home. So there's gathering, farming, crafting, and shop management. I played several days in the game, and while I found it chill and relaxing, and I enjoyed exploring and figuring out how to craft potions and watching them fly off my store shelf, neither the gameplay nor the graphics really wowed me. It took a ton of exploring just to find a few ingredients and a lot of fumbling to figure out how to make the correct potions. Even though there were a few villagers to have pleasant interactions with, the game just felt a bit empty, and I lacked motivation to continue. I'm ranking this as mid because while it is cute and cozy, it needed more excitement in the gameplay or better graphics or both to keep me playing. It was just mediocre for me. Our fifth game is Go-Go Town, which, like Chill Town, isn't even in beta yet, but I have playtested it several times and I played it quite a bit last month. Go-Go Town is a life sim like nothing else you've ever played. The graphics are so adorable, and you get to organize the town businesses however you like, and hire workers to help make your town profitable and attract tourists. I found myself plunging hours into Go-Go Town, even though I knew I'd lose my progress after the playtest ended. Zooming around town on my unicorn whip, go-kart, and skateboard, and running over tourists, delivering raw goods to the shops, was so satisfying. There's a bit of farming, fishing, mining, and foraging, but you can delegate most tasks to workers as you progress. And what I enjoyed most was designing my town from the shops to the grass and the roads. It's just such a bubbly, cute, happy game. I really, really love Go-Go Town, and for these reasons, I am going to place Go-Go Town as our first love at the top of the tier list. Then we have Sprout Valley, an indie farming sim where you play as Nico the cat, who is beginning his new life on an archipelago where he must farm, travel, and explore islands by boat, and slowly uncover the mysteries hiding in his basement. You can have pets and meet a few superficial NPC shop owners as you visit islands, but that's about the extent of your interactions and exploration other than the ability to build bridges to nowhere. Yeah, the bridge part really frustrated me. Speaking of frustrating, that's precisely the adjective I used to describe the controls for managing my inventory in Sprout Valley. Granted, I was playing on the Switch, and don't get me started about the backwards Joy-Con buttons, but I've heard from several others regarding the controls of this game being confusing and cumbersome. But on the positive side, the pastel pixel graphics and cozy aesthetic were very relaxing and enjoyable. It ran just fine on my Nintendo Switch, was fun for a while, and was only $5 on sale. Although I got bored of Sprout Valley after just a few gaming sessions and was very frustrated by the controls, the game overall is very cute, it's very cozy, I love to look at it, the sale price was awesome, so I feel like a rating of like is pretty fair. Moving along, we have Party Animals, which is obviously not a true cozy game. It's really not cozy at all, but since its cuteness and non-serious gameplay make it a tad chill, I have included it. Party Animals is an online multiplayer game where you team up with friends or randoms, pick the animal you want to play as, and then smack the crap out of each other until one team reaches the objective. It's hilarious and the graphics are just superb and knock it out of the park on just how adorable the animals are, and seeing them smack each other with random objects and wobble around fighting wind, ice, and gravity is stinking hilarious. As expected, this game really got my adrenaline pumping and wasn't relaxing, but it was incredibly fun. There's even a custom game mode included where you can chill out and bash AI players or brawl with your friends. Although it includes a battle pass, it also has quite a few in-game purchases available, which I thought was rather unfortunate for a $20 game, especially with the deceitful coin package pricing. I also worry how competitive this game will become, as I've already seen a lot of streamers sharing tips and tricks on how to master levels. And without skill-based matchmaking, it makes it difficult for casual players to compete. It reminds me a bit of Fall Guys in this manner. You really need a team of friends or to enhance your skills to make it overwhelmingly enjoyable past a few games. For these reasons, I will give Party Animals a like. Chillquarium is an idle creature collector game that I stumbled upon because I'm a dork who browses Steam for aquatic-themed indie games. Anyhow, what a gem this is. I had never played a true idle game like this before, and with my affinity for aquariums, this was perfect. Basically, you buy card packs of fish, hope for rare golden and rainbow fish, you feed them, and later sell the ones you don't want. As adults, each fish makes you a certain amount of money daily, which grows astronomically as you upgrade into the river, reef, marine, and giant fish. You don't have to clean the tanks, change the water, or worry about overfeeding. It's all about chilling with your fish and trying to collect them all. If you have an extra monitor, you can even leave Chillquarium on all the time and never turn it off, even as you leave for days on vacation. I'm talking to you, Joe. You know who you are. My only complaint is that the rainbow and golden fish are really rare, and I'm losing hope of ever completing my collection. But I do thoroughly enjoy booting up Chillquarium every morning and selling and buying fish and hoping to hear the sweet sound of a rare fish as I open packs. For a few bucks, Chillquarium delivers everything it promises and more. It's a huge win, and I am going to give it the ranking of love. Critter Cove is a life sim that I was able to playtest in its beta version. Although you start on an island and begin with the typical formula of completing quests to improve and upgrade your surroundings, the character customization and the graphics really impressed me. You could almost create any animal that you wanted as your character, and the color palette was so vivid. The graphics reminded me of Sea of Thieves, very cartoony and saturated, but I liked it. It's not for everyone, I get that. The water was just gorgeous though, and I loved exploring the shipwrecks and the ocean floor, and I was excited to see the other islands that I could spot on the horizon, knowing that there eventually would be a boat that I could take on adventures. The gameplay, however, was a bit shallow and repetitive, which deflated some of my motivation to keep playing. But given it's still in beta, and I spent several hours in it and didn't even realize the hours had flown by, I'm gonna give it a like. Don't laugh at this one, but I played Foot Clinic. Okay, you can go ahead and laugh, because Foot Clinic is a weird little game that someone shared with me in the Nintendo eShop, and being the oddball that I am, I thought it looked intriguing. You're a foot doctor, and I use that prestigious title loosely, who must tend to your patient's disgusting foot ailments to unlock superficial upgrades to your clinic. Let's be real, this is a mobile game that was ported to Switch, and while it's oddly and embarrassingly satisfying to peel off rotten toenails and pull worm-like pus from dirty soles, and the fast game pace lends itself nicely to short bathroom gaming sessions, it's not a quality game. You get your couple bucks worth and you can overlook the janky graphics and patients whose appearance suddenly changes from a construction worker to a woman wearing high heels. Honestly, although I appreciate its odd appeal and the short gaming sessions and its cheap price, it was a bit of a snooze fest for the gameplay, and for that reason it gets a yawn rating. Let's talk about Animal Shelter Simulator. This isn't a new game, but it was new to me as I found it on sale, and I am a sucker for games involving animals. You should know that by now. This is a management sim where you rehabilitate cats and dogs and match them with new adoptive families. I also bought the Cats, Kittens, and Horses DLCs, so there is a lot of cute content that I am chomping at the bit to unlock. It's quite satisfying to boost the stats of the weak, abandoned animals who arrive at the shelter, and heartwarming, yet also bittersweet to say goodbye. I enjoy working at my own pace, the variety of tasks, and organizing my shelter buildings. But it is a bit of a grind to complete quests and unlock all the buildings, and juggling so many inventory items is a tad cumbersome. Given how much I have enjoyed it, I feel that Animal Shelter Simulator deserves a spot in the like tier. The gameplay did not wow me, but I love animals, so it holds a special place in my heart. And finally, we arrive at Moonstone Island. Boy, oh boy, did I underestimate this one, and I almost didn't buy Moonstone Island. What a mistake would that have been. Moonstone Island was described to me as a combination of Stardew Valley and Pokemon, neither of which I particularly enjoyed. But Moonstone just hits different. It has pixel graphics, but with vivid colors and oddly cute creatures everywhere. I found the visuals quite appealing. There's farming, but not too much, and there are NPCs whom you can date, a house you can work to upgrade and decorate, and my favorites, the islands that you can explore by flying to them, and the spirit creatures to collect and battle. The gameplay loop with the card battles mixed in, it's just so extremely pleasant. It wasn't until my husband commented to me, "Boy, you're really hitting that game hard," that I realized I was addicted to Moonstone Island. I want to tame every creature in the game and stock them in my happy little spirit barn. I want to uncover the entire map of various islands and discover all of the plants and bring back their seeds. The NPCs, however, are just kind of meh. I have no desire to date any of them, and I would prefer the ability to marry my little fishbowl with legs. But that is sadly not an option. The days pass quickly, but time stops during the card battles, so the precise length of each day is really up to you. There is so much freedom, excitement, and cuteness in Moonstone Island that I can't recommend this game enough. It's a huge, emphatic love for me. Plus, it works great on Steam Deck, so if you want to get all cozy in your bed and play Moonstone Island until the wee hours in the morning, not that I would do that, you can. Let's take a minute and talk about the elephant in the room. Most of these games I have talked about are September releases, and you may have noticed that there is a big game that is missing from my list. I'm talking about Fae Farm. Now, I had high hopes for Fae Farm. I even pre-ordered the full deluxe edition of Fae Farm, and then release day came and I played it for a short while, and sadly, that's all I could bring myself to play. Between the over-the-top bubbliness of the characters to the shallow NPCs spewing out endless fetch quests, and then the above-average price for the game if you wanted all of the future updates, the game just rubbed me the wrong way, and I couldn't bring myself to play it more than a short while, and I refunded it. So for these reasons, I didn't feel like I could include it in my rating, but I wanted to convey my thoughts on the game, and also to hear your thoughts on it. I know there are tons of people who love it. It just clearly was not for me. So there you have it, 12 cozy and or cute indie games that I have played in the past month and my rankings for each. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I would love to hear your input. And if you haven't already, but you like cute and cozy games, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.